Hey, this is Kyle and Adam at ProjectionHub, and today we are going to be answering another burning SBA question that we come across, and we hear all kinds of different interesting questions for people looking to start businesses, buy businesses, grow businesses, and so we're going to share some of those here. And I'm going to pitch him at Adam, and he's going to give us his sage wisdom based on his experience as a former SBA lender and the founder and owner of ProjectionHub. So, my question for you is, what kind of collateral do SBA lenders actually want to see in a loan application request?
Yeah, so this is something that I think has been interesting lately. I think a lot of clients would assume that, if I'm buying equipment, restaurant equipment, or I'm starting a tree service business and I've got chippers and skid steers and a bucket truck, and you would assume, a lot of people assume that the SBA really wants all of that equipment as collateral. And the reality that I've been finding from lenders is they really don't want that. They don't actually want all this little equipment that, if it has a title, they're going to have to go to the DMV and swap out titles. If you say, "Hey, oh, I have this truck as collateral, we had to get a new truck." That's a whole bunch of process that the bank has to go through to secure their collateral. They don't want to mess with that. Surprise number one is I don't think they want little bits of equipment. They also could really care less about your inventory. They don't want your inventory. They don't count that as valuable at all because you know how to sell your inventory, but the bank doesn't know how to sell your inventory. So equipment, furniture, inventory, just assume the lender doesn't want.
Would you say that's a 0% of that, or just a like significant haircut on the value?
I mean, they will discount. So on like equipment and furniture, they'll give you like a 50% collateral value from the loan perspective. Um, but even with that, in practice, what I've been finding is that lenders don't seem to, even if they can count it as collateral, they really don't want it. It's a hassle. It's probably cost more for the bank than it's worth. So unless it's like a really expensive piece of equipment where you've got one big, it's got to be at a certain value to be worth it. I think that's the idea.
I'm gonna assume that that is obviously different from, well, so what you're talking about is probably applicable for most like 7A lenders or like 7A loans, right? Where we hear all the time like the loan amount has to be up to a certain amount for it to really be worth the time of a lender because of the costs that go into it, the cost and convenience versus them working with, we wish that those weren't a factor, I think, in who can apply for an SBA loan and get one or not. But even if we look at a program like an SBA microloan, which I feel like I'm always bringing up in these videos because I just really love that program, I think that the collateral conversation probably changes a little bit. Like, I think a microlender might get really excited about the fact that there's 3 cars or something, a chipper and this and that to use as collateral because they're probably pretty used to like getting zero good collateral for those loans. So maybe that is one slight caveat. It's like if your business or your startup is truly on the smaller end, like more of a micro enterprise where you can get by with a $50,000 loan or less. Or honestly, I'm seeing a lot, as I recommend and try to help people find different, micro lenders or programs that might help them. A lot of these smaller programs are starting to bump that amount up to 100 or 150. I'm not saying that they're just handing those loans out, but I think it used to be, $1,000 to 20,000, $1,000 to 50,000, and now there's some more of these that are popping up that are up to 100, up to 150, depending upon what qualifications you can meet. Now, those probably aren't certified SBA microloan programs; they're probably just small loan programs funded by something else. But yeah, that would be my one slight caveat to that is if you can fall into that lower end amount and get by with that, those lenders might be excited about that kind of collateral. But your
Yeah.
standard 7A loan doesn't sound like that's the case.
Yeah. And as I think back from being a SBA microlender for 12 years, I think, I really, how often did we actually get money out of the 3 minivans that we took, or the used restaurant equipment? Like, I can, we probably did 1,500 loans during my time there, and I could probably count on two hands how many times we actually got anything out of liquidating that kind of collateral, small equipment collateral. So I think it's more a mindset thing for the business owner that like, I've got something to lose here.
Yeah.
That was the value that was being provided there. So
It was that skin in the game, thing. It's like, are you willing to put up the thing, that commitment to actually following through with it?
So we should just answer though what collateral they actually want, because we just said all the collateral they don't want. So commercial real estate, if you're buying a building, for your business, that is valuable to the lender. They would like that. They're gonna value that at probably 80% of the appraised value in terms of collateral. And then personal residence or a rental home or something, if you've got equity in that, those hold their value better, easier. They're bigger dollar amounts. The value from this bigger dollar amounts. So it's worth the paperwork and the headache. It's also they talk about like rolling stock. So if their collateral it can move, that's not ideal. But a building, they know where it is. It's not going anywhere. A house, they know where it is. It's not going anywhere. So that's another, I think, good reason for real estate.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, there you have it. One of the burning questions: what kind of collateral do SBA lenders actually want? And again, that's gonna change based upon the type of program, the size of the loan you're talking about. But you're going to a bank or something for a traditional 7A loan for multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, even up higher than that, into the millions. Real estate is probably the name of the game. I mean, I think that's really what a lot of times they're going to want to see for those. And maybe a quick disclaimer too: even if you are going the microloan route and you don't have real estate, you don't have titleable vehicles or something like that, those lenders don't want your household belongings, your antique stamp collection, or like, those things have value. And I don't want to bash on that too bad, but as far as a lender goes, that's probably not going to help them too much.
No one's going to come and try to collect your gun collection. So just
Yeah, no.
no one's signing up for that job.
Oh, if you are out there and you're considering, starting a business, buying a business, growing a business, and you've considered SBA or thought about SBA, and you have some questions about, your collateral or what would it take or what your approval odds might be, feel free to reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com. We also offer a free SBA review, pretty easy to find on our website, but link down below too. So you can contact us there to get some free feedback, and we will see you on the next video.